What's the secret to gaining strength and flexibility together without going backwards with your flexibility training? This is something that so many people ask us, and maybe you can relate to it, where you feel like you make some real progress one day with your flexibility training, only to come into your stretching session the next day and feel like you've gone backwards. Well, stick around, because I'm going to reveal the secret sauce.
We are the gym that teaches people how to move instead of just exercise, because we believe that health is about performance, not just body image.
So there's a couple of things to this. The first is the way that we balance strength and flexibility into the same workout. We've got some really good videos on that, but basically we do a 1-to-1 strength and flexibility ratio. So for an example, in our UMS online coaching program, we do, on Monday, we do vertical push and pull, and then hamstrings and hip flexors, or basically front splits training. So an example of that is in one 5-minute round, we're doing a set of pull-up, then a set of hamstring stretch, then a set of pike push-up or shoulder press, a vertical push pattern, and then a set of hip flexor stretch. So the idea is you do your set of pull-ups, and then you do your set of hamstring stretches. So whilst you're doing the hamstring, your entire upper body is resting, but you're making use of the recovery time by stretching your hamstrings. Then you'll do your set of shoulder press. So you're now training the opposing muscles of the pull-up. So you're not training the muscles that do pulling in the upper body, you're training the muscles that do pushing. This is a typical push-pull split. And then you do your hip flexor flexibility. Hey, in case we haven't met, my name's Rad Burmeister. I'm one of the co-founders of Unity Gym and the co-creators of the Unified Movement System, or UMS, where we make driven people strong, flexible, and fit using calisthenics and weightlifting and modern day flexibility methods. If you want to know more about how we get such amazing results with our tribe members, you can download one of the free blueprints, Flexibility Blueprint, Strength Blueprint, At-Home Workout Blueprints. We've got a whole bunch of them. They're free. You can get a link in the description of this video. Or if you want to grab one of our amazing programs for strength, flexibility, or fitness, or calisthenics skills, again, there's a link in the description here. And hey, if you're ready to dive in deep and start online coaching with me and my brother and my team, where you can get daily coaching from us and get access to our ultimate program, the Unified Movement System, there's an opportunity here for you to get a 30-day free trial and an amazing offer on the price of the subscription. Click the link in this video if you're ready to dive in. So as an example, if I just show it to you really, really quickly, if I jumped up and did a whole set of pull-ups, so I'm not going to do a whole set now for the video, but let's say I do a whole set of pull-ups, and then I come down here and I do my single leg good mornings. So this is a hamstring flexibility. Right now, while I'm doing this, the muscles that I used in my upper body for the pull-up are totally resting. So I'll do my full set of single leg good mornings, and then I'll do some shoulder press, okay? And while I'm doing my shoulder press, obviously my lower body's resting, but the lats, the bicep, the anterior deltoid, all the muscles that did the, the posterior deltoid, the scapular stabilizers, all those muscles that work in the pull-up, they're resting and recovering now whilst I'm doing the pushing muscles, the triceps, the pecs, the anterior deltoid. And then the last one would be a hip flexor stretch. So again, there's so many different variations that we do, but if I just show a really basic one, posterior pelvic tilt, leaning forward, and then driving my leg back. So I'm doing active flexibility in the glutes here, or rather end range strength in the glutes, active flexibility in the hip flexors. So you can see within a 5-minute round, we're doing all that together. So that's the first thing. The second big thing is mobility training. So you can do a really good stretching session. You can feel like, and strength session, and then you can feel really good afterwards. You feel like, wow, man, I made some really good progress. And you come back and you try and do a stretching session the next day or 2 days later, and you just feel really stiff and sore and like you're going backwards. It's a really common thing that people suffer with. And the problem with flexibility training is, with strength training, when you're stiff and sore and you just can't lift the weights, most people rest and recover, or they just do a reduced workout. With flexibility training, a big problem that people have is that they try and push themselves and they try and go harder, and they cause injuries, real problems. The secret to that is mobility training. So if you can do anywhere from 5 to 18 minutes at the end of your session of mobility training is where you just take your joints through full range of motion. So it's not stretching, it's just taking the joints through full range of motion. What that does is it really promotes blood flow. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to access your full range of motion in movements that you weren't working on in that session anyway, to solidify the flexibility gains that you made in the session the day before or the day before that. And it also just limbers you up and gets you ready for the next day. So an example of if I show you some mobility for the shoulders, some really basic and easy shoulder mobility, rib cage down, is just going through full range of motion, shoulder circles, okay? Like this. This is really good shoulder mobility. Hanging is really good shoulder mobility. So this is creating traction in the shoulders. It's pulling me up, it's pulling me into extreme flexion. That's really good for the shoulders. If we go down to the lower body, okay? If I come down into a squat here and just push my knees out, this is really nice mobility for my hips. I can push my knee forward and circle it like this, and that brings it into the ankle. We can rock forward and back to get the hip flexors and the lower back and the glutes and the hamstrings. So hip flexors there, quads, glutes, hamstrings here, okay? So this is examples of mobility. There's so much you can do. I mean, mobility training for the spine even is as much as just turning from side to side and just mobilizing the joints. But the idea of mobility training is it's not painful. I'm not trying to stretch myself to my full range of motion. It's actually really therapeutic. And if you do that, if you do mobility training on the days that you don't train, but also just a little bit at the end of your session, it's going to have a massive impact on your strength and flexibility together. And it's a real secret sauce as to how we get strong and flexible at the same time. And a really good place to start, if you want to, I know this is a shameless plug, but our 18-minute stretching routine is the perfect daily dose of mobility. Check it out, there's a link in the description of this video. Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you click the notification bell so you know when our weekly videos are uploaded. Now, the best thing for you to do if you want to stay connected with us and get free online coaching is to join our private Facebook group. It's called the UMS Movement Mastermind, and we go live daily where we answer our members' questions. It's very interactive because you can post questions while we're live and we interact with you on the show. You can also upload videos or pictures of yourself with any movements, any stretches, strength training movements, calisthenics, weightlifting, anything that you're struggling with, and we'll critique you, give you feedback, let you know how you can get better. It's a really valuable resource. It allows a lot of communication with us and also our senior tribe members. You'll get answers very, very quickly, and it's absolutely free. So jump on Facebook, search for UMS Movement Mastermind and join now. Until next time, have a great day.